Hello everyone, welcome to another evening of frank conversations here on Hard Copy, the program where we bring you the people behind the news. I'm Maokbe Ogun. Well, tonight I speak with Dr. Austin Tam-George, the Rivers State Commissioner for Information, who resigned his appointment a day before the entire cabinet was sacked by the governor, Nyesom Wike. Dr. Tam-George was an academic before he was appointed Commissioner for Information. How different is politics in the Ivory Tiles from that of the larger society? He will also be sharing with us his thoughts on the current call for restructuring. Well, Dr. Austin Tam-George, you're welcome to Hard Copy.
Thanks for having me, Markwe.
Well, it's exactly 2 weeks today since you resigned your appointment as Commissioner for Information in Rivers State. Why did you leave?
Well, I left because, I thought it was the right time to leave. Markwe, there's always this tendency for people to go into government with a sense of entitlement, a sense of permanence. I thought that, people should learn to go into government with a sense of diligence first, but also with a sense of temporariness because, it's a transition. I have been in academics for the past 25 years. And so when I was invited to serve the state, I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to, speak directly, from my heart, work with other patrons in the state to defend the interests of the state and to try to actualize what I thought was a fantastic vision by the administration. And so, having been there for over a year, nearly 100, just a year, 7 months or so, I thought it was time to leave and leave the chance for someone else to try.
Well, it came, whether or not you like it, it made the headlines that you resigned your appointment. And, I'm sure you'll be wondering why. I mean, you're just a commissioner. Why would this be very important? And a number of people will provide reasons. They might say, first of all, you're serving in a state, one of the very few states in opposition, and your governor is very vocal. And you do know that people are interested in what precisely is happening in his government. So when you resigned, quite some people might have thought that, it was a sign that all might not have been well at home.
No, I left because, as I said, I thought it was the right time to leave. I understand, the unprecedented publicity my resignation received. But that also speaks to the character of our politics. People go into government without the intention to leave at all until they are kicked out. And I just thought that, no, that it shouldn't be the pattern. Once you get into government, you've been able to serve the people as diligently as you could. And in your judgment, it was time to leave. You should be able to leave the stage with dignity so that someone else could just go there and try.
Someone else. And this happened a day just before, the entire cabinet was sacked. There were rumors, I don't know how true they were, but we got stories about a state executive council meeting holding and that a commissioner had stood up to the governor to say, you're not carrying us along in your decisions, you're running a one-man show, and, were you that commissioner?
No, I wasn't. I saw a bit of this kind of chatter in the social media, and I can't respond to those kind of things. First of all, I don't think there should be controversy about the dissolution of any cabinet. It's entirely the governor's prerogative to constitute his cabinet and to dissolve it without notice at all. It was well within his powers to do that. Concerning whether any commissioner challenged him in office or in the course of the council meeting, I can't confirm that because I was not even in that council meeting. I had resigned 2 days before.
So you were not aware of
I was not.
Any situation of where commissioners were dissatisfied or felt that the governor was running a one-man show?
No, I can't confirm that. I wasn't in that meeting. But as I said, when a governor is elected, he's got constitutional prerogatives, and one of that, is to be able to dissolve his cabinet and bring on a new team. And as we reached the midterm, we celebrated the second anniversary of his administration just last month. He probably would need a new team, or he probably would need a new direction for his administration that will require a completely a new team to drive his agenda going forward. I think it's his prerogative to choose whoever should continue or whoever should go. It's a constitutional prerogative, I think.
So are you on good terms with him?
Oh, yes. We worked well. I left on my own terms because I thought I needed to move on to something else. And I wish the administration well.
Well, we wish them well as well, and we wish you well as well. But, you know, I am very interested in your experience as Commissioner for Information. I would have thought, I mean, considering your passion, I reviewed quite a number of interviews that we've had with you, and I remember that in the early days, you were very interested in government, you know, in terms of government working, but you're also very interested in education, which is one area I thought you would have, you know, also been able to make your mark. You served as Commissioner for Information in Rivers, you know, and you know the nature of the politics there. The political rivalry is quite fierce. Would you have preferred to serve in another capacity?
Well, you know, I have formal qualifications in all kinds of areas. I mean, I have a degree in education. I've taught in the university system for 25 years. I have formal qualifications in communication studies up to the PhD. I have a separate master's degree in industrial and labor relations. So I could have served as Commissioner for Employment. I could have served as Commissioner for Education. Of course, I did serve eventually as Commissioner for Information. But, you know, my own concern, even before I went into government, was to see how we could build a closer interface between governance and service. And so when I got into office, one of the first things I did was to establish a credibility in my own ministry. Because before I arrived in that ministry, there was no credibility at all. People didn't take the ministry seriously because, you know, my predecessor was seen as somebody who misled the state concerning especially government funding of projects and whether some of those projects existed. We inherited, the administration in Port Harcourt inherited the most abandoned projects in the history of Rivers State since 1967.